In this weekly Forex forecast, I'm sharing my exact trade plan for the DXY, the Euro, the Pound, and also gold. So if you're new here, my name is Justin Bennett, Forex trader since 2007, full-time trader since 2011. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. I don't want to waste any time. Looking first at the DXY here 4-hour time frame. So last week played out really nicely. If you watched that video, what I was looking for here from the DXY was a rejection from this area up here. Okay, so this was Sunday here into Monday. And what I was looking for was a move up here into this region. And from there, I was looking for a rotation lower, given the fact that we were coming into the upper band of this distribution channel. Okay, so I use channels like this, guys, in combination with things like FSMC to give me a little bit more structure in these charts. Okay, so as of now, this played out really nicely with last week's drop down here. Now, the key for the DXY, and I want to clear this up before we go on, because this is really going to be critical for this market next week for the dollar. Because if you'll notice here on the 4-hour time frame, okay, and this is where a lot of traders get tripped up because it does get a little bit confusing in the sense that you can see that we have this low right back here. Now, a lot of traders would use this low to determine a shift in the trend, okay, or a change of character. Now, the issue with that, though, here is that, clearly we can see the DXY has been in an uptrend for the past couple of months. However, if you're using this low here, what you'll notice is that when we look at these highs, okay, this high right back here, so if we snap it right to the high up here and drag this across, you'll notice that we never closed above this. So we got wicks above here. Okay, we had wicks above here. However, we never closed above this high. And so the issue here on the 4-hour time frame is that if you're using this low, right, technically speaking, we can't use this low for a change of character because it has to be the low that triggered the last break of structure. And you can't have a break of structure on a wick. You have to close above it. Okay, so the fact that we didn't close above it here means that we cannot use this low for a change of character. Okay, that's obviously, following the SMC rules. So if we look at this now, what we have to do here is we have to use the low down here. So this low right here is the one that actually triggered the last break of structure. Okay, so if we draw this out from this high right back here, okay, this is technically the last confirmed break of structure on the way up. Okay, so this is the low right here that dollar bulls have to hold. So right around 98.60. Now there's also a September FVG there as well. We haven't quite come into this. I would like to see this tapped sometime next week. And then that's going to be a critical factor, key moment here for the dollar, because not only is that the September FVG, but we also then have this low back here, which again is the low that buyers have to hold in order to keep the bullish momentum intact. So will they do it? Can they do it? We'll have to wait and see. There's no way for me to know that. But structurally speaking, this is the area to watch here next week. That September FVG, this low back here, this is the one buyers have to hold in terms of the overall directional bias here on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so that's what's going to be key here for this market. Now, in terms of the bullish side, if we get the retest down here, let's say we bounce from here, what you're going to look for then, or what I'm going to look for then, is if we take out this low and close below it, then this high becomes the one to watch. If we get a move down here, close below this low, then this would be the high that triggered a break of structure, okay, similar to what we just talked about. So then you're looking for a move back up here and to take out this high, okay, to close above this high. That would give you a change of character within this recent downtrend, all right? So that's what I'm looking out for there. Now, obviously, the DXY could just drop right below here and just keep going, test this level, and just keep going south, in which case, if we start to close below this low back here around 98.60, like I said, that would start to give you a broader shift in the trend here, a change of character here on the 4-hour time frame to really shift the momentum here that we've seen over the past couple of months from bullish to bearish. All right, but the key here is not this low here, in my opinion. Yes, we are below it. However, the key for this market is really going to be this low, because this is the last one that produced that break of structure. This one up here did not. Okay, this low did not break this high back here. We did not close above it. So therefore, this is the area to watch. Okay, I hope that's clear, guys. For the DXY. That's really going to drive the rest of these markets as well when you look at the euro and the pound. Okay, now there is something on the euro that I want to show you guys that is kind of hinting at potential dollar weakness. Okay, and this is yet to be seen. But if we look at the 4-hour time frame, what you'll notice here is that we did technically have a confirmed change of character on the 4-hour time frame. So within this trend back here, you can clearly see lower highs and lower lows here on the 4-hour, right? And you have this high right back here. We dropped below it, okay, dropping below these lows. That was your break of structure. And then we moved up here. This high right here, we cannot use as I talked about in last weekend's forecast, because this right here, okay, from this high did not break this low. Okay, so we have to use the last low. The last break of structure which was back here, in which case we have to use this high. Now, if we move over here, and I'm actually going to draw a horizontal ray here so we can see the exact price. But this level up here, 116.68 or so, this level was actually broken on the 4 hour. Okay, so technically on the 4 hour, this was a confirmed change of character, right? From bearish to bullish. Now, the key though for this market is going to be to hold above this low. So this one right down here, if we draw this out, this is the low down here that Euro bulls have to hold. Okay, 115.90. So as long as we are above this low down here, okay, there is the chance that this right here, this confirmed change of character, starts to take place and we get that confirmed move up. Okay, and broader speaking, if we look here, then that could potentially confirm the shift in this trend here from bearish over the past couple of months to bullish. All right, but again, I think that what we need to see here, or what I need to see here, is something constructive next week to show me that we're going to hold above this area down here. Okay, because even though we did have that confirmed change of character, that is the first sign that buyers could be taking over here. Also the fact that this was a higher low. A lot of times when you get a higher low like this and then a bullish change of character like this, that is a sign that, buyers are starting to take control and you are getting that rounded bottom. But again, I need to see a little bit more here from this market to really confirm that we are going to hold this. And the other thing I need to see too from the euro, keep in mind that the euro and the DXY tend to move inversely. So when you look at the DXY, what we just talked about there, we have that September FVG still intact, right? This is unmitigated at 98.60. And also the fact that this is the low down here that sellers would have to take out to turn the DXY bearish. So that is a factor when you're trading the euro, at least it is for me, because when I see this here, and then I see something completely different on the euro, it does make me pause and say, okay, if I'm going to get bullish on this market, like really get bullish here, I need to see the DXY below this low down here. I need to see us closing below here to confirm that the US dollar is bearish. Okay, until that time, I think that you've got to approach things like this here, this change of character on the euro, with a little bit of hesitancy. Okay, I'm not saying that it's invalid, but we do have to be a little bit careful here with this shift. Okay, now as far as last week's forecast, if you watched that video, what I was looking for there, just to kind of clarify here, and it was a little bit frustrating. I got the direction spot on. Okay, it was a little bit frustrating though, because what I was looking for were these lows right back here, these equal lows. I wanted to see these swept. Okay, I wanted to see this swept because we had this inefficiency down here in this area, and we had these equal lows right through here. So what I was looking for last week is I wanted to see the market come up here and then drop below this area to tag that liquidity and then give me a lower time frame change of character. Unfortunately, we literally came within pips of that area. So if you look here from the low, we came right here. I was looking for a drop below those lows. I mean, it was literally 5 to 10 pips away from my area of interest that I had down here. So, we talked about this in the VIP group in Discord. A little bit frustrating when that happens, but it does happen. However, at the same time, any of you who saw that video, not that this is ever financial advice, this is all just obviously my opinion every single time. But if you saw that video, hopefully that kept you on the right side of this, because you can see that we got the retest down here. What I was looking for was a sweep of these lows and then the bounce back here toward the highs and potentially up here toward this region, which we certainly got. Okay, so the bottom line here for the euro is that it is still bullish here off of the lows. Okay, so you can see that off of this distribution channel as well, that this right here, and I'm not treating this as a typical channel, guys. Don't think that I'm just blindly buying down here and selling up here. This is more of a distribution channel in the sense that when you think about SMC, you think about premium and discount, right? So if you have a sideways range, the market's doing this. This down here is your discount, and this up here is your premium. So you look for shorts up here, you look for longs down here. This is a similar construct, only it's within a trending market. Okay, so we have these diagonal levels. So as of right now, the euro is sitting right in this area. Now, here's the key though. Just because if we were to drop below here, it doesn't mean that the euro is bearish, because remember that when we look at this breakup structure that happened last week, this was the low that triggered it. Okay, so this area down here around 115.90, this is what's going to be key for the euro. As long as we're above here, then this uptrend is technically intact. Okay, just keep that in mind as we head into next week. And again, we did have that change of character here on both the 1 hour and 4 hour time frame. So that will be something to watch next week. I'll be watching this closely to see what we get down here in this area, or if we drop a little bit lower to tag this inefficiency down here. Okay, so let's move on here to the pound GBPUSD. And if you guys are finding these videos helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also hit that like button, guys. I've got videos coming out like this every single week. Plus, I'm doing those SMC lessons every single week too. I'll be dropping 2 every week going forward. So looking here at the pound, we have the September FVG. This was the target last week. And this right here, if you look at the monthly time frame, the reason it was a target is back here, we had a confirmed FVG, right? It's a 3-candle pattern. You had this candle right here. You had this one that dropped below, closed below, and then this was the third one that left this gap open. So this right here, right? This is what I was targeting last week, and we certainly got that. Now, similar to the euro, again, a little bit frustrating just because we came very close to my area of interest. So in last week's video, if you saw that, what I was looking for was a move down here between this pocket of the 50% wick of this candle back here on the hourly. We also had a 30-minute order block through here, and also we had a weekly FVG, okay? So that was a 2-candle pattern, not necessarily a 3-candle pattern, but still I was looking for a retest of that weekly high, which we certainly got. Now, this was my area of interest. I was looking for a lower time frame change of character down here, which we did not get. But again, this was a case where if you saw that video, hopefully that kept you on the right side of the market. Not that this is ever financial advice, I have to say that again. But last week, I was looking for a move down here into this pocket between this area and this one, and then that bounce up there toward that September FVG, okay? And, again, played out really nicely. Didn't quite come here into my area of interest. I was looking for a move down here to fill this region. Didn't quite get it, but that's the way it goes sometimes. All right, now going into next week here for the pound, similar to the euro, you look at the hourly, look at the 4-hour time frame, it's all bullish. Okay, so there is no reason to be bearish here on the pound, at least not just yet. Because when you look at this here, we do have a break above this high, right? So you have a break above this high, although this was not technically a change of character back here because again, this low right here didn't take out this one. But clearly we have the market now, putting in higher highs and higher lows over the past few weeks. So that is what to note here. Now you can see here clearly this was a break of structure back here, okay? Now what's interesting about the pound though is that really, technically for me, if I'm looking at this chart, I would say that when you look at something like the 4-hour time frame, because this drop was so aggressive back here, you could technically, I guess, call this over here a change of character when we closed above here. But I think that's a little bit difficult to support that idea, just because this was so sideways through here. Really, this high up here is really an interesting one in terms of a potential change of character. And for me, we haven't really quite gotten that yet, right? Off of this high back here, you can see we wicked above it, but we haven't gotten that close above. So this kind of just plays into what I said before about the DXY though, is that right now there are still some question marks in terms of, is this market going to continue higher or is this just some relief here within the downtrend? And that's yet to be seen, right? It's yet to be seen in my opinion, just because this could easily be relief before, lower here for the pound. Same thing with the euro, and that's true as long as the DXY is above that 98.60 area. So in cases like this, I think recently we've had some nice opportunities. I think when you get to situations like this, though, at least for me, this is a good time to kind of stand aside, see what we get down here. Ideally for me, what I would love to see from the DXY, it doesn't mean it'll happen, is to come down here, satisfy, mitigate this September FVG at 98.60, fill this area in, get the bounce, get the close below here, first of all, in the hourly or 4-hour, and then from here, get the bounce, get that change of character above this high, and then get that bullish continuation back here toward the highs. For me, guys, that would be perfect because we still have that key monthly level up here. We also still have those buy-side inefficiencies in the form of single prints. So for me, this is a huge pocket up here for the DXY that I would love to see tested. Again, it doesn't mean it'll happen, but that is one scenario that I'll be watching for next week if we get it, okay? That obviously will affect the euro and the pound if we do get it. Still a big if, though. We will see what we get from these markets. And also, just so you guys know too, I'll be sure to update members in Discord as things unfold, as I always do. So that is a real-time, chat, real-time updates in there. So if this forecast were to change, which it will, markets are dynamic, then I'll be sure to update members there. Okay, so again, for the pound right now, bullish here recently. But the big question is this just more relief within this downtrend, or is this truly a bottom? And I think the key for that is going to be the DXY. Okay, but there's no question that you look at this on the 4-hour, we have inefficiencies down here, all along this move here. These are all inefficiencies that if you're trying to long against this, in my opinion, that is ill-advised. Just because the odds of us coming down here and at least filling in part of this are pretty good here next week, in my opinion. Okay, looking at gold, still a very interesting chart, guys, even though we went completely sideways last week. So really uneventful last week. What I was looking for here, and I still am, I was talking about this in the weekly forecast a week ago. But basically on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we do have a break of structure back here. Okay, so technically you could also call this a change of character given this move back here. But regardless, we have an uptrend here from gold, right? Off of these lows, higher highs and higher lows. So what I'm looking for here from gold, and I talked about this last week, but a couple things. First of all, we do have a weekly bullish FVG back here. We also have a daily FVG through here as well, which you can see here on this chart. So off of this high right here, 4-hour as well, you've got these lows, and you've got this pocket down here in this area. Now, this blue dotted line is also a sell side single print there. In TPO terms, it's essentially a very thinly traded area, very similar to an FVG. So there's a lot happening down here in this pocket. And this, I guess it was too good to be true. But what I was looking for last week was a move down here into this pocket and then a lower time frame change of character to get long back here toward this area. Instead, obviously, we just went sideways. So we will see early next week if we do get the pullback here from gold into this region. Okay, but this is going to be a big test here for gold if we see it. We do have a break of structure over here on the 4-hour. Okay, so again, buyers are in control right now for the past few weeks. So that's important to know here. That in my opinion, as long as we're above areas like this down here, and really, honestly, as long as we're above lows like this down here, just above 4K, as long as we're above this, we are technically bullish. But when you look at things like this trend line down here, really ideally, if we are going to come up here and tag these inefficiencies up here, including those two buy side single prints up here, if we're going to do this, this is the area down here that has to hold, in my opinion. I think if we get below here on the high time frames, that could be problematic for gold. But this is the pocket that I'm watching once again next week. I was last week, and I will again next week, just because, again, we really didn't make any headway here one way or the other last week. So that's what I'm looking at here for gold, guys. XAUUSD, pretty straightforward here looking at this chart. I think we've got some really nice areas to target. The question is, which one do we get first? Do we get the market moving up here to fill in these buy side inefficiencies first, or do we get the push down here into this region first, followed by the bounce? Okay, so that's what I'm looking for, guys. I hope that helps. As always, none of this is financial advice, but if you do want to join us in the VIP group, be sure to check out that link in the description below. I'll leave it down there. There's an 85% off of lifetime access. And by the way, the price will be going up, guys, in January. So I can't tell you exactly when, but it will be going up. So that's it for this video. I hope it helped. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you again next week.